Hey guys, Parallel here. So I've been streaming for a couple days now, fine-tuning my hero builds and stuff, and I've been working on this 7 hero support build and trying to fine-tune it and get all the gear together. But the thing with the 7 hero support build is it can generally associate with any player build. So I figured I'd go over the Ritualist build that I've been using to a lot of success recently, and I feel like it's pretty strong. It's relatively easy to use also, so let me just go into it a bit. So, what I have is a build known as Glaive Spam, or Glaive Bomber, or whatever you want to refer to it as. What I generally do is I get Destructive with Glaive, Arcane Echo, Spirit Rift, Ancestor's Rage, Light of Deldrimor, Channeling, and Auspicious Incantation. Now, you notice I skipped over Breath of the Great Dwarf here. This spell can generally be anything you want it to be. It just depends on what you want to use the slot for. So let me just go over the build entirely. So Destructive Ghost Glaive says you hold an item for a certain amount of seconds. While you're holding the item, all your skills have 20% armor penetration, and when you drop the ashes, the item, all foes in the area takes so much lightning damage. So like in my case it's 71. So basically you hold the item, drops it, does 70 damage, but also while you're holding it, all your skills have armor penetration, which is really strong. I don't know why I keep looking over here. Arcane Echo is the next skill, and so basically your goal is to spam this as much as possible, because when you activate this skill, you will drop the previous item that you were holding and pick up a new item that's the same thing. So you can continuously cycle these to do continuous damage and have armor penetration. Arcane Echo says if you cast a spell in the next 20 seconds, Arcane Echoes replace that spell for 20 seconds. It ends prematurely if you use a non-spell skill. So, if you use Arcane Echo and then Destructive with Glaive, you can use your 1 and 2 abilities to continuously psycho Destructive with Glaive even further for lots of damage. Let me get this closer to me. So, generally you want to cycle these, and then we'll skip over this for a minute to go to Ancestor's Rage, because these are the 2 skills that you're going to be spamming the most. You have Ancestor's Rage, which says for 1 second nothing happens. When this skill ends, all foes adjacent to target ally take 89 lightning damage. So let's say you target like one of your heroes in your party. All of a sudden, everything near it takes 89 lightning damage. Also, you can target minions, so like bone minions that you're, when you're using like 7 hero support builds, you have a necromancer that just spams summons bone minions, whatever they're called. And you can click those and then target them, so that everything around them does 89 lightning damage. Or, well, the numbers doesn't matter. They do lightning damage. So you will spam these, and when these are on cooldown, you will use Ancestor's Rage. And the skill I skipped over is called Spirit Rift. Open a Spirit Rift to target foe's location. After 3 seconds, all adjacent foes are struck for 105 lightning damage and suffer from cracked armor. The numbers are a little bit different for some people, but that's what I have. So basically, when monsters are really stacked up, you want to try to use this skill and work it into your rotation as well, because cracked armor means they're going to take bonus damage, so it increases your armor penetration, and it's just more AoE damage. So you want to try to work this into your route. Next is Light of Deldrimor. All foes in the area are struck for 80 holy damage. The next part is the location of hidden objects are briefly indicated in your compass. That doesn't matter. You use it because it's an AoE damage spell. So you work this in your rotation as well. Breath of the Great Dwarf says all party members are relieved of burning and are healed for 60. So I use this as an emergency heal button, because generally when I'm running hard modes or Fissure of Woe or stuff like that, I need a button to just press really quickly when I'm in a very unsavory situation where I need to quickly heal my group, where my heroes may not get there in time, and I just want to make sure everybody's alive. It also helps on missions where fire is very prevalent. So let's say like the last mission of the Prophecies campaign, or the last mission of the Eye of the North campaign, where you have to fight the Great Destroyer. But that's what I use that spot for. But you can generally put a lot of skills in this spot. Channeling. For 46 seconds, whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 energy for each foe in the area. So you always want to keep this active so that you can keep spamming your other abilities, because every time you press, so like let's say you use Destructive Glaive, which costs 5 mana, if there are 5 other creatures in the area, you will gain 5 energy. So if you cycle these while channeling is up, you'll never run out of mana. So it helps those mana issues that spammy builds tend to have. Next is Auspicious Incantation. For 20 seconds, the next spell you cast is disabled. For an additional 6 seconds, you gain 182% of that spell's energy cost. So, like, let's say I click this, and then let's say I'm not really needing the heals so much right now. I can press this and then press Breath of the Great Dwarf, and I'll gain like 18 mana or something, close to that. Which is a pretty good button when I'm getting really low on mana and I really need that mana to keep funneling my build. So what you're trying to do with this is, your rotation generally goes like this. Arcane Echo, you have channeling up permanently. So like you always make sure that you're watching your skills to make sure that channeling is always up. Then you will use Arcane Echo, then Destructive as Glaive, and then you'll walk up to monsters and cycle these first 2 abilities. And then when Destructive is Glaive and your Arcane Echo Destructive was the Glaive ability are down, use Ancestor's Rage and Light of Deldrimor as like cooldowns. So like you always use these when they're up. And if there are monsters that really clumped up together, so like if you're familiar with Ray of Justice builds for monks, you want to hit the really clumped up minions with your Ray of Justice to make sure you're doing lots more damage. Same applies to Spirit Rift. And then when you need energy, use Auspicious Incantation, and when you need an emergency heal, you use Breath of the Great Dwarf. I go 12 into Inspiration Magic, 12 into Channeling Magic, and 3 into Spawning Power for this build. It's pretty good. I don't think I should have Spawning Power, should I? Channeling. Channeling. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because the last 3 points can go into anything, so I just put them in the Spawning Power. So you want 12, basically, and then you just put the extras in the Spawning Power, because it'll help you out sometimes. When you switch up this ability, you might want to work a Spirit into your build, so that can help. Sorry for getting distracted there. And then I'm a Ritualist Mesmer. It allows me to use skills like Auspicious Incantation. It allows me to use Channeling, which is the major focus, and allows the build to function as much as possible. The armor set I have doesn't really matter because I don't have it set up right now, but I generally have Vitae runes, and I have the 1 Fortitude rune on my armor, which is the non-stackable one that gives HP. And then the staff I have right now is not really applying to my build, but you want to try to have a staff that works with, I don't know what I'm getting to, Channeling Magic, and just kind of like this staff but for channeling. But yeah, so that is my Glaive Bomber build. I will post this, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. The next video, I'm going to be detailing a Fissure of Woe run in the future, but what I'm going to do is my next video is probably going to be detailing the Spirit build. Either that or I'll be going over the 7 support build in an in-depth video, and just going over specifically going over the build. But in the description I will put where you get all these skills, so that way to help some people out. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, see you later. Thanks for watching.